although the Supreme Court had thrown out INEC's case, apparently the Independent National Electoral Commission was also busy holding a closed-door meeting with the People's Democratic Party's leaders over internal party disputes ahead of the 2026 elections. Now, the meeting followed conflicting letters from the rival PDP factions, prompting concerns about compliance with electoral laws. The INEC Chairman, Professor Joash Amupitan, stressed that the Constitution and Electoral Act must be strictly followed. After the meeting, the Tanimu Turaki faction said it was blindsided by the presence of another group, while the Samuel Anyanwu camp announced plans for an all-inclusive convention.
We felt that this rubbing minds together will be a good opportunity for us to forge the way forward concerning the elections.
While we shall be waiting for INEC to come back to us regarding those live issues that we raise from our own perspective, I want to assure Nigerians and members of the public that we shall continue our work as the leading opposition party in Nigeria.
Well, this is the issue, is that we're going to tell our brothers who are parading themselves as also of the party to come back home, since we have a cabinet committee appointed by the neck and beauty of our party.
I'm now being joined by Haruna Jungudo, People's Democratic Party Public Relations Officer for one of the camps. As you know, there are now two camps, so he's here to talk to us. Welcome, Mr. Jungudo.
Nice to have you.
How was the meeting?
Well, it went well, and as expected.
For one whose house is in turmoil, you're smiling.
The meeting was fantastic.
Was a good one.
Yes, it went as expected.
Okay, but you heard there are two leaders. One says we'll carry on with the things that we need, the live issues that we need to carry on. The other one says we're planning for a convention. I'll tell our brothers to come back home.
Yes, that's the honest truth. All we have to tell them is our doors are open. Let them come in. We will accommodate them in the build-up to the convention we are actually planning. And if they want to be factual with what actually transpired in the meeting, the honest truth was said, and the INEC Chairman, whom I actually admired his courage and disposition to speak the truth, and his effort to see that he tries to resolve the issues that are happening, which are undeniable in the PDP. But one specific thing he mentioned, which I take as a take-home from that meeting, was that he said there were 2 federal high court judgments, and INEC, as a law-abiding institution, will comply with those judgments. And until and unless there is a superior judgment setting aside this federal high court judgments, there's nothing INEC can do. They just have to comply, and that he was specific about the last judgment that was served on INEC on Friday, a day to the purported national convention. He said they were served with a court order. That, of course, was the one that emanated from Justice Lifu's court in a case filed by former Governor Sule Lamido. So the court was clear. Don't do this convention. Before you do it, go and do A, B, C, D. But I cannot understand why, in the face of valid subsisting court orders, certain group of individuals decided to proceed and organize what they call convention.
There are 2 questions I'll ask you, if you could just answer them real quick before because we're almost out of time. One is, the former governor was said to have come to pick up a form at the time after the time limit had passed.
No.
Is that true or false?
No, that's not true. In the court I was present, the question that was put was that, was there any publication to the effect that PDP was selling a nomination form in respect of the convention? There was no publication anywhere. No newspaper publication, no radio, no TV publication. It was just an A4 paper printed, brought out from a drawer, and they said that was the notice. That was not acceptable.
Did you see the notice?
No, I didn't. If I had seen, perhaps I would have bought and contested an election. So without such publication, how could someone who is in far away Zamfara, Cross River, Borno, Taraba, Benue, get to hear the information that sales of form were ongoing? This is the starting date. This is the bank which you're supposed to go and make payment. This is the amount. It never happened.
The other question
so Governor
is,
Sule said he was not aware, and there was no any evidence before the court.
The other question, it just has to do with your party's constitution. Does your constitution allow for caretaker committees?
Yes, it does. It does. The issue is that this is not the first time we've had...
no, there have been caretaker committees. The question is, does your party constitution allow for caretaker committees?
Yes, it allows, it provides for committees. So, and caretaker committees is one of them. It does. You cannot leave a vacuum. Assuming now, if assuming that the NEC in their own wisdom did not walk ahead to constitute a caretaker committee, and then the Damagun-led NWC tenure expired at on the 9th, 12 midnight, what would have happened? So that is the wisdom where we had NEC meeting, and then it was resolved that
so
a
finally,
member caretaker
does
committee
the
be
Damagun-led leadership of the party, do you consider that leadership legitimate?
The previous Damagun,
Yes.
at some point in time before his expulsion, before his suspension, yes, I considered Damagun's tenure.
His expulsion was when? After the convention?
No. Yes, there was
Okay,
a
so
NEC
before
meeting.
the expulsion, his tenure was, his leadership was...
he was, of course, he was the leader with distinguished Senator Anyanwu, Alhaji Umar Bature, and the rest.
Because he went ahead with the convention, you decided to expel
Yes,
him.
because you cannot be a leader and then go ahead to disobey the court rules.
What's the way forward for the PDP?
Well, as far as we are concerned, the PDP, as it were today, despite having certain group of people parading themselves, which you cannot deny them, the PDP, as it were today, is one under the leadership of Honorable
Are you sure the
Abdurrahman.
PDP is one?
It is under
Because
the eyes
have
of
you
the
noticed-
law.
Have you noticed? Hold on. Have you noticed that you're losing members in the Senate, for instance? Your numbers has dropped from 50 to less than 20.
Yes.
Far less than 20.
Who are responsible. Look at it, let me tell you. During the case of Anyanwu and the former Ude, who was contesting for secretary position, immediately the court decided that he cannot be regarded as national secretary of the party. What happened? He decamped to APC. These are people who do not actually have the PDP.
So I'm asking you
heart.
again. Right now, you don't have any governor in the central part of Nigeria. None of the central states has a PDP governor.
Yes.
All of them. The last one just moved.
Yes,
to
Governor
that today.
Plateau, yes.
And now you have less than 20 senators in the National Assembly. I'm not sure of the numbers you have in the House of Representatives. And you're sitting here smiling that the PDP is one and moving forward.
See, it is normal for every political party to have its own crisis.
Okay.
Just wait and see what happens with the APC if they have their own conventions. But I can tell you that this is not the first time as a political party that we are experiencing this kind of turmoil. And I can bet you that in a few weeks' time, especially if the Court of Appeal makes its own decision, I can bet you that you will see how we're going to bounce back.
All right, thank
stronger
you.
and better.
Thank you so much. Haruna Jungudo is the public relations officer of one of the camps of the People's Democratic Party. Thank you for coming.
I'm most grateful.